So in this video, we are going to discuss one important editorial that came in today's The Hindu newspaper. So this article is titled Ukraine Peace Plan. So the writer of this article says that the present crisis, this is turning into a humanitarian crisis, the war between Ukraine and Russia. And this was a war that nobody wanted. So neither NATO and its allies, none of the parties to the war, they really wanted this war. However, this war has boosted USA's belief that NATO is playing a strong role in providing security to the Europe. So ये जो बिलीव था यूएसए का कि जो नेटो और एलाइज हैं वो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं इन सिक्योरिंग यूरोप सिक्योरिटी. सो ये जो बिलीव है ये रीइंफोर्स हुआ है ड्यूरिंग दिस वॉर. Now, apart from that, the whole world is standing by and taking no action. As per the writer, जो सभी countries हैं और जो mainly United Nations है, which is an international body, all these people are not, all these countries and all these organizations, they are not taking a stand properly, and which is always expected from an international body. So this needs to be done, and the writer suggests various possible solutions to this crisis. So we are going to discuss discuss these solutions one by one. Firstly, the writer says that Russia needs to be pressurized for more realistic negotiations with यूक्रेन. राइटर कहते हैं कि जो रशिया है वो ज्यादा सॉरो एक्सप्रेस नहीं करने वाला विद रिगार्ड्स टू द वॉर. So these are very unrealistic expectations. We should not expect these things from Russia. However, pressure needs to be put on Russia to have more realistic negotiations with Ukraine, which accommodates all the interests, the interests of all the parties. So ये जो नेगोशिएशंस होंगी और जो ये अग्रीमेंट्स होंगे इसमें वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज का बहुत बड़ा रोल होगा. दे नीड टू प्ले एन एक्टिव रोल इन दिस होल पीस प्रोसेस बिकॉज both the parties, both Russia as well as Ukraine, they have made statements that they want a peaceful solution and they are ready to negotiate. So West also plays an important role in this peace plan. Now, what is this peace plan as suggested by the writer? We are going to discuss this peace plan point by point. So, firstly, the writer says that both the interest of both the parties that should be taken into consideration. So, what is the interest of Ukraine? Ukraine wants its neutrality to be restored. It is an independent country and it wants that it should have its own stand. So the neutrality, the neutral aspect of Ukraine, it needs to be restored, and this interest of Ukraine should be accommodated in any kind of negotiation. Now, what does Russia want? Russia does not want कि जो NATO की influence है वो और eastward extend हो. NATO is a military organization which is a North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It is a US-led organization. और रशिया डज नॉट वांट कि इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो इन्फ्लुएंस है वो और ईस्टवर्ड शिफ्ट हो. सो दिस इंटरेस्ट नीड्स टू बी टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन. सो द राइटर सेज दोनों पार्टीज के इंटरेस्ट को समझना चाहिए और एक म्यूचुअल एग्रीमेंट पर आना चाहिए. Secondly, the writer talks about subtle diplomacy. So there are various experts and diplomats present in all the countries who have great solutions for this whole crisis. So those interlocutors should meet and should come up with a detailed arrangement. And the writer says कि ये जो detailed arrangement वो लेकर आए ये acceptable हो to both the parties, Ukraine as well as Russia. Now, thirdly, the writer talks about sanctions. USA बहुत जल्दी sanctions लगा देता है उन countries पर जो countries उसके interests meet नहीं करती. So, is that correct? The writer says not at all, because जो economic sanctions हैं उसके कई consequences होते हैं और वो negative consequences होते हैं. Firstly, the writer is of the view कि ये जो sanctions हैं ये restrict कर देता है the process of globalization. What is globalization? It is interconnectedness between various countries. So if the sanctions are imposed, the countries will be bound by various kind of arrangements and various kinds of restrictions. So the globalization process will not be smooth. So the writer says that sanctions should not be put on any country. Also because it leads to fragmentation of the global payment situation, and जो छोटी छोटी कंट्रीज हैं जो कि डिपेंड करती हैं बड़ी कंट्रीज पर फॉर फूड सप्लाईज और फॉर द सप्लाईज ऑफ वेरियस अदर नेसेसिटीज, सो वो जो छोटी कंट्रीज हैं वो इफेक्ट हो जाती हैं इन सैंक्शंस के बाद. सो द इकोनॉमिक सैंक्शन इज नॉट द economic sanctions are not the solution. Now the next aspect of this crisis which the writer discusses is spillover effects. इस क्राइसिस से और क्या क्या हो रहा है. सो द राइटर सेज कि जो वेस्ट है वो परसीव करता था कि रशिया इज बिकमिंग अ बिगर पावर, एंड एक तरह का न्यू इंपीरियलिज्म शुरू हुआ है बाय रशिया, which the West always wanted to contain. So after this crisis, the West has kind of proved that रशिया का जो ये न्यू इंपीरियलिज्म है ये कंटेन हो गया है, बिकॉज इसमें काफी यूनिटी शो की है वेस्ट ने. नेटो और उसके जो एलाइज हैं, ये जो मिलिट्री ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, इसने यूक्रेन की बहुत हेल्प की है, एंड दे हैव restrained Russia to take over Ukraine in full swing. So this is clearly shown by the Western nations that they are united and they are capable of containing Russia's new imperialism. Apart from that, the writer says कि जो रशिया और चाइना के टाइज हैं वो स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाएंगे आफ्टर दिस क्राइसिस. व्हाई? बिकॉज रशिया और चाइना बहुत पहले भी एक तरह का बहुत अच्छा बॉन्ड शेयर करते थे, विच वॉज बिफोर ग्रेट कम्युनिस्ट डिवाइड which happened in 1960s. Or also the Chinese president, he made a statement saying that the spirit of Korean War of 1950s should be revived. So all these statements, they are signaling to the fact that Russia and China will be together, and they are going to make their bond even more stronger in this crisis. So why do they want it? Because Western nations are showing that kind of unity. So there will be a cementing of Russia-China ties. Apart from that, the writer says that there is going to be reshaping of the world energy map. Now, how the energy map is going to be reshaped? पहले वेस्टर्न जो यूरोप था उस पे रशिया सप्लाई करता था अपना क्रूड ऑयल. However, now the oil flow would come from West Asian countries as well as USA. Russia will take a back seat. Now, फिर उसका जो रशियन क्रूड ऑयल है वो कौन इंपोर्ट करेगा? China and India. So the whole energy map would be reshuffled and it will be reshaped. So China and India would be the new importers of Russian crude oil, and जो यूरोप है उधर मेनली जो ऑयल है वो एक्सपोर्ट किया जाएगा बाय वेस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज एज वेल एज यूएसए. Now, next the writer discusses what has been India's position in this whole picture. The writer says that India has not come forward very boldly, and it has not criticized Russia for whatever it has done, which is because we have shared a long-term defense relationships and other relations with Russia. So we have not properly criticized Russia for its actions. And what are the future possibilities after this crisis? So the writer says that there is a possibility that there can be use of miniature nukes with precision delivery mechanism. So the nuclear thing is a big threat. So the writer says that the countries might come up with various experiments in case of nuclear field. So the miniature, like small minor nuclear payloads they may come up. So these kind of experimentations may happen in future. Writer says that the future might look like this if if an agreement is not arrived at, and if things don't go well. So these kind of things might happen, that minor nuclear payloads may come up. And the writer also says that since West Asia, जो वेस्ट एशिया है वहां पर पॉलिटिक्स काफी चेंज हो रही है, और आफ्टर अब्राहम अकॉर्ड्स ऑफ 2020 this is going to affect the whole crisis, and also Iran's position is also important in this whole thing. So the west Asian nations और उधर की politics ये इस क्राइसिस पर काफी इफेक्ट डालेंगी, एंड ऑल दीज फैक्टर्स विल कम इनटू प्ले इन अराइविंग एट अ solution for the Ukraine and Russian war, which is going on presently. So this was what the article was all about, and I hope you've understood this article properly. Any other suggestions, and in case of other points which you might find in other newspapers, you might discuss in the comment section below. So thank you, and have a good day.